was 25 past. There we go. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Wow. Hi. Biscuits.
Tea.
Yeah, slightly different. Are you going to be opening the?
I am, but not very loud because of the road.
Yes. I think I'll just stand in. Yes.
If I'd known you were going to be here, I wouldn't.
You could have watched it at home. Now look, there's biscuits. There's biscuits, look.
Oh, yeah.
And coffee.
Right, ladies and gentlemen, before I start, please don't think I'm doing a half-hearted effort, but because of the confines of the road, I will have to mute the sound. Oh, yay! Oh, yay! Oh, yay! On this, the 17th day of April 2025, I would like to thank everyone for attending. On behalf of North Walsham Town Council, I now proclaim the annual town meeting open. God save the King!
Thank you very much. I'm glad you do it sound. Right. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for attending this annual town meeting for North Walsham. This is not a regular session of Town Council, but a meeting where we talk to you on what's happened in the last 12 months and give you an opportunity to ask questions of us and the District and County Council that serve us. Following the formal business, various of our town groups will report on what they've done in the last year, and after that you can ask questions of any of us. So our council is made up of up to 16 councillors who are volunteers and don't get paid for their time. Unfortunately, over the course of the year, 7 of these have resigned for various reasons. We are about to co-opt some new members, but a few vacancies will remain, so I encourage anybody interested to consider applying to join us. Our full and part-time staff are vital to providing our day-to-day services and administration. During the year, Nicola Bosworth has joined the team in the office as administrator. Away from our office, the grounds maintenance team have continued to keep our parks, cemeteries and verges looking their best, as well as helping at markets and events. Last spring, our office finally moved back into this building above this room. This has given our staff a much improved working environment and has returned us to the heart of the town where we are more accessible. Now, I can't pretend that this last year has been a smooth one for the council, as you're aware, but I do believe that following the various investigations and action plans, we have improved our organisation and can look forward with greater confidence. At the start of during last year, a town clerk identified some shortcomings in our historic financial management and in health and safety. No disasters have been caused by these issues, but there was potential for future problems. An external audit suggested alterations to our financial process, and an external safety audit identified some actions to improve the safety of our grounds team. The action lists from both of these have now been worked through and now are almost complete. We also commissioned a cultural review on the way that the council works and the relationships between staff, management and councillors. This did highlight that the team as a whole was not working together as well as it might, with staff critical of how they were treated by a few councillors, but relationships are now much improved. Gaps in training for staff and councillors were highlighted, and a plan for that is in hand too. Finally, 2 members of staff accused the town clerk of bullying, but after a very long investigation, this was disproved. Think about finance. The town council's portion of your council tax has not increased this year, but as you will have seen, the county, district and police elements have risen a fair amount. But we have a fairly high level of reserve funds available for projects in the town. We've identified some that we're investigating, but we would like your suggestions for improvements within our areas of responsibility. We plan a public engagement on this during the summer to get your ideas, so please give that some thought. We have cemeteries either side of Bacton Road, and we've just completed the digital mapping of those, so you can now search those on our website if you're searching for a particular grave. The refurbished chapel in the cemetery was returned to use last year and is now in use for simple burial services. Our weekly Thursday market lost a few traders over the year, including its fruit and veg stall. That's recently been replaced, and other new stalls have joined us too. The monthly Sunday market celebrated its 10th anniversary in July. That continues to be popular, but could do with some more traders. The street feasts in the marketplace last summer were again successful. For this year, we have a series of different events, which you'll hear about later, beginning in June with the street feast and picnic in the marketplace and churchyard. The free to enter car boot sales in the park were very popular again last year, with up to 100 traders setting up. The first of this year's was last weekend and had an amazing 200 cars. We run these market boot sales as a service to the town and don't charge an entry fee. So we do collect donations which go to the Mayor's Charity Fund, which this year is supporting the Benjamin Foundation and the Dementia Support Group. Last year we marked the 80th anniversary of D-Day, and this year the VE and VJ days will be commemorated too, with events during the day in the marketplace and church, and in the evening at the Memorial Garden, including the lighting of the beacon. Across our various parks and cemeteries, we look after around 200 trees. These are assessed each year by a specialist who proposes any maintenance or removal. We're in the midst of carrying out works to many of these, including some preventative work to prevent future problems. We've also worked with NWTC's Green Streets project, which has seen around 400 new trees planted in town, including some in our parks. The prolonged renovation of the Memorial Park walking halls is almost complete. When this was removed last year because of corrosion to its body, some local steelwork companies offered to renovate it free of charge. We were grateful for that kind offer, but unfortunately, as they fitted the work in amongst their day-to-day operations, it has been quite long delayed. In Woodville Park, there has been a long-standing problem with water running off and flooding gardens. This year, we installed some drainage and earthworks, which should prevent that problem in future. The first grass cut of the season took place in March, and this routine task will keep our grounds team busy throughout the summer. We look after most, but not quite all of the verges in town. There are generally 6 cuts each year, and the parks are known once a fortnight. In the marketplace, we were pleased to be able to install a 20-foot Christmas tree last year, and thank Gordon Haynes, funeral directors, and the Kindle stonemasons for their sponsorship of that. During last summer, LED uplighting was installed under the town clock, which enables it to be illuminated in different colours to mark specific events. We now have 10 defibrillators following the installation of the latest one on the pavilion in the park. Their locations are listed in the latest copy of the town guide, and I do recommend you make yourself familiar with your closest. Of course, we all hope we will never need one, but if we do, getting there quickly is really important. The Hopkins Home development is now underway behind the nursery on Norwich Road, and the development of social housing off Station Road begins later in the year. The proposed building of 330 homes at the end of Munsley Road was opposed by the council and by local groups. We are at present waiting a decision on that from NWTC. We're all suffering from the effects of the current Norwich Road junction works. This has certainly been disruptive, but should help to relieve the long queues back from the bypass towards the post office at peak times. We've also worked with our county councillors to develop a project to provide a continuous footpath from King's Arms Street. This is important for the safety of pedestrians, and for that reason we are willing to contribute some funds towards that. The new town guide is being delivered around town. You may have got yours already. This excellent book produced by Wayne Beecham is the envy of other Norfolk towns. And within that you'll see a very long list of clubs, groups and voluntary organisations. Some of these do things in the public eye and some work behind the scenes, but all help to make our town a better place to live. On behalf of North Walsham, I thank them all. You will hear from some of these groups in a while, but I would especially like to thank North Walsham in Bloom, North Walsham Play, Good Neighbours, Children's Day, Christmas Lights and the Fun Day. And finally, before I end, I should point out that the Children's Day in a few weeks you will have the chance to throw wet sponges at me. Thank you. Next, we hear from Lucy. Oh, sorry.
No, sorry, no, you can.
Okay. So Lucy will give us some update from district and county council perspective.
Thank you. I'll stand over here if I'm not projecting loud enough, just tell me. So I wanted to begin by thanking all the voluntary groups that are here, because you do such a massive amount of work in the town that makes our town such a special place, and it's not often that we get so many of you in one room to say thank you. So thank you for everything that you've done over the last 12 months and the time before. So I'll begin the report just by thanking everybody who has come to both district and county councils with highways improvements. We are steadily getting through them. It does at times feel like we're getting more and more than we're repairing, but please do not hesitate to report them. We've had some major improvements. I wanted to thank particularly Wendy, our town clerk, for the support that she's given me in dealing with some of the speeding issues that we've got across the town. The police have worked alongside us to really try and tackle some of those. So much so that I am gifting the town council another Santee camera out of my highways fund this year. So I think that brings us up to 3.
3 that recorded, yeah.
Perfect, that's great. And then the other thank you that I wanted to give was to every single person that has responded to the planning applications. We've got a lot of development coming across the town, and where people feel they don't have a voice, you really, really do. And we have seen that predominantly with the 1-0 development. So if there is a call to action where we're asking people to come forward and give us opinions, please do attend, because it is vitally important. And I think in total we're looking at about 2,500 new homes over the coming years, and that is a big change for the town, so we really do need to work together to make sure we get the most out of it. Aside from that, the only update I'm going to give is probably, many of you will have heard me talk about it before, so I really apologise. The biggest change to local government is coming, and that is coming in 2 phases. The first is devolution, and it does get a little bit confusing between devolution and local government reorganisation, but they are very different. Devolution is where we're looking to elect a mayor, and that mayor will cover both Norfolk and Suffolk. What that should give us is parity with some of the areas that already have a mayor in terms of funding for big projects, and there should be elections next May for that. So I know we've had difficulty engaging with the Police and Crime Commissioner elections. We saw quite a low turnout for those. If anybody wants to talk to me about what a mayor's going to bring us and would like more information, please don't hesitate to reach out. It would be really important for us to have our first mayor and have a great turnout so that everybody gets a democratic voice there. The more information we get about what their power will be pushed out through the town council, just to ensure everybody has got a wide enough opinion on what's going on. And I do attend almost every single meeting, so if there are questions that do pop up, please do come and join the town council meetings and I'll respond. The next part, which is slightly more confusing and perhaps a bit destabilising for the town council in particular, is local government reorganisation. So this is happening further down the line, and what that means is we have North Norfolk District Council, and the government have decided that to bring more efficiency to local government, they're looking to merge the counties and the districts into one council. Now, we don't know whether or not that's going to be one council for the whole of Norfolk, or whether or not that will be 2 councils that cover Norfolk, or 3 councils. We don't know what that's going to look like. So there's been consultation at all levels. The county have responded to the consultation and put a plan through. We did that at the end of March. And the county have decided that they would like one unitary authority, and the districts voted at the same time towards the end of March. And there's a slight variation between what everybody wants, but the general consensus between the district councils is that they don't want a single unitary. Most have opted for 3. In North Norfolk, we have said we don't really think that reorganising local government is going to be getting the best out of it for local taxpayers, but if we had to, then we would opt for 3. There are many unknowns with what that's going to bring us. So we do know that with a mayor, who is generally a precepting authority, that you should see a line for that on your council tax bill, like you do with the Police and Crime Commissioner. We don't know what that precept's going to look like yet, but we do know they can be a precepting authority. And for local government reorganisation, there is they call it harmonisation. So we have a different council tax to other districts, and at some point there will be a harmonising of those in a unitary authority. I can't stand here and say whether or not our council tax will go up. I can probably air a guess that it won't go down. And I'm sorry about that, this is a government initiative to save money, but I don't believe, hand on heart, I don't believe anybody in this room will see a saving on their council tax bill. So that's complete transparency. What I can't tell you is who the partnerships are going to be in North Norfolk and who we're going to partner with overall. I can tell you that as a district we're being courted quite heavily by other districts, and we're not quite sure whether or not that's because we are just very efficient and do things well, or whether or not our £10 million in additional second homes council tax is the appeal there. Either way, we are quite popular at the moment, which is good for us because it shows that we've got good working relationships. So So as that transpires, we will talk about it more openly in public. We do in our meetings, but we have to make a final decision by September and what we believe that will look like. The reports that we had done by Deloitte suggested that 3 was the way to go. The county report said 1. So we can see there's variation. What we do need to do is make sure that we get the best for North Norfolk and its complete uniqueness comparatively. We have a massive, beautiful coast. We have coastal erosion. We are incredibly rural. We are the oldest population in the country. And those are very defining characteristics. And nowhere in the government's plan do they talk about the coast or where the responsibility for the coast is going to sit. And they are very focused on working age people, of which most of our district isn't. So with those things in mind, when they're talking about partnerships and travel to work areas and things, that's not relevant to our district. What's relevant is quality of life and connectivity. So I will bring more conversations forward to town council meetings about that. But if anybody does have any questions on those topics, please feel free to attend meetings and ask questions or send me an email. And I'll give as much information as I can out about it. But I shan't talk for much longer because you hear from me quiet now. Thank you.
Thank you. The next item is to approve the minutes of the town meeting last year. Which were fairly short and sweet, but I propose that we accept those. I'm not sure who was here last year to second that.
Anyone?
Well done. Thank you. So we're now going to have some presentations from the various groups here. The first on the list is Walsham Play.
I'll keep this very short. Good evening, everyone. My name is Matthew. I'm founder and one of the trustees of North Walsham Play, a charity set up just under 10 years ago to improve the play parks, open spaces in and around the town. My then son, who was less than 1 year old, had an encounter at one of the parks. It wasn't that great, and I had 2 options really: be a keyboard warrior and just moan about it on social media, or try and do something about it, and I chose the latter. Since then, we brought £500,000 into the town through the facilities at Woodville. A small play park there was one of ours, the eco gym at the Memorial Park, the pirate ship and the castle themed park in the community centre was ours in terms of a project. The new equipment trackside, we were able to sort of help the town council secure the funding with the district council there to secure that, and the skate park as well, built during COVID, which I wouldn't recommend building anything of that nature during COVID ever again. So, you know, all those facilities have been gifted to the town, and a lot of people in this room have supported us, whether it be the town council, district council, the Children's Day, Fun Day, and others have all supported what we've done. We've also introduced many different events into the town: Christmas fairs, yard sales, Easter egg hunts, some charity concerts and events, comedy shows at the Atrium, so on and so forth. And we've reached a bit of a plateau really, where we're doing well, but the grant-making bodies that are out there have changed, I think it's fair to say, since the pandemic, their focus. And I think we've had a good slice of many different community and charity grant-making body pies that are out there. So we took the relatively difficult decision, although for something I think it's quite an easy decision, to say that come the end of this accountancy year, which is the 30th of June, that will be it for us. We will be leaving and finishing, hopefully with our heads held high, hopefully with a lot given back to the town, which has 15, 20, 30-year warranties on, very limited snagging issues, a few minor bits here and there, but on the whole we feel that we've done our bit. So we have our Easter egg hunt this Saturday, which we've sold out for, so that'll be another great event if the weather is kind, which I think it will be. And you know, I'll be able to drive around the town with my children and hopefully my grandchildren in the future and be able to enjoy sort of what we installed. So it was really just to update you. There's no politics to it. It's all difficult. It's all a bit different now. And you know, sometimes you've got to know when to go, and I think now is about right. So it's a big thank you to everybody that supported us, and you know, it won't be the last of me, I'm sure, but it will probably be the last of North Walsham Play. And then just so that the town are aware, we are sat on some funds. There's approximately 12, 13, 14,000 left. That will be gifted to the town council at our point of closure and requested that it's restricted for play parks. We have 2 projects we'd have liked to have secured £250,000 for, but I think we could have been waiting a very long time. But you know, hopefully some of the pieces of equipment off those lists could be purchased. And that, I think, meets all my requirements for the Charities Commission. We will officially, as trustees, document it next month what our intention is. But that's us, really, and fingers crossed we have a good egg hunt on Saturday to see us out. So, thank you very much.
Next, Eric will update us on North Walsham in Bloom.
You want to come to the front?
Should be late.
Well, it's late for you, that's good. The other way around. Right, good evening everyone. I'm Eric Seawood. I am the chairman of North Walsham in Bloom. North Walsham in Bloom is now celebrating its 26th year. We started in 1999, and we are a group of volunteers that look after hops, planters, some beds, primarily around the centre of the town. Most of the flowers that you see around the town, they are all part of our winter planting programme. There is about 12 to 15 people involved in North Walsham and Bloom. We have a committee. It costs about £7,000 a year to actually run it. I have to say that the cost of plants is not going down, it's going up. Well, I can say we have some very generous wholesalers, and when I see what the cost of plants are in supermarkets and garden centres, and I know what we buy them for, it's a lot cheaper, thank goodness. We normally meet on a Tuesday. We're out most Tuesdays. We weren't out this week because, of course, it might have been dry for a very long time, but then it all rained on Tuesday. So that's just our luck, but we hope to get going again next Tuesday. There's just 1 or 2 thank yous I need to say. We are very grateful to local businesses in the town for their support, and also community groups. We're also very grateful to the support financially that the town council gives us, and also the grounds team, who are very supportive of us, and without their help we wouldn't be able to do as much as we can. And lastly, like any community organisation, the people involved are getting a bit older. So we need a bit younger blood, and we do need a few more people to help us. But if you want to see the town looking colourful with plants and flowers, then this is what we're trying to do. I'd like to think in 10, 20 or 30 years, which will be well after I'm gone, that will continue. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Next, Alex is going to talk about Children's Day.
So, I'm Robert, in case there's some new faces here that I don't know. I'm chairman. I created the event back seven and a half years ago. Since then, we've raised just under £12,000 for charity. Like Matt said, he's one of our charities. We've had Scouts for Church is always our charity every year, because we use the land. And then we've got the Cadets this year. So, everyone's got a copy of this. If not, let me know. I've got some of these are this year's programmes. So that a bit earlier, just so we can advertise, and then everyone can obviously have a look at what's coming on. So last year we brought in just over £4,000. We're hoping to try and hit more than that this year, but the problem is living costs are going up. So we tried to keep everything down low. So we're focusing on a little bit different this year, so we're doing a bit more wellbeing and healthy eating. So we've got some donkeys coming over for wellbeing and petting, and then we're now partnered up with Neighbours in Walsham, who are going to come one day and give out free fruit to support the community and just get a bit more involvement, which is quite nice because it's the first time any supermarkets want to come out and get involved. Of course, we've got Bob joining us in stocks. I will try not to get a nice bucket over you this year. I can't promise the water will be warm. Looking at the weather at the moment, touch wood, we're looking at 12, 13 degrees with sun, but Norfolk weather changes overnight. We're only about 19 days away. We've got Ryan, who's with the Air Cadets, joining us, the vicar, and the local MP, who's said he can hopefully come if he's not in Parliament, so it'll be handy to have. Obviously, North Walsham is not up for sale, in case anyone's wondering. It is all Children's Day billboards, which have been sponsored by mine and Brady's. Last year there was over about 200 boards. This year we're looking at about 100 to 150, with some more still due to come up. I think apparently South Reps looks like it's for sale, and Stanley is now come up apparently. Norwich Road is not this year, which is quite surprising, but like I say, we've still got some more. We've got loads of our banners out and about. And then obviously we've now got a new theatre show coming in this year, which is coming up from Hertfordshire. It's the second time it's been in Norfolk, which is educational recycling show. So it'll teach kids all about recycling and how to do it sensibly. But it's all done by puppets, which obviously the kids interact with. We've got our lovely group come from Ely, which is the animal experience, which will bring them into the zoo, so it'll be little meerkats, some snakes, stuff that you pay an arm and leg to go see at a zoo, but you can come here and for free. So it's all about just trying to keep the cost down to help everyone. Really, not much else. Apart from obviously our steam trains return back this year. And then hopefully we'll have a good day. Yeah. And then if there's any questions at the end, we're happy to move on. Thank you.
There's no spelling mistakes.
Yeah. I'm Cassie, I'm the chair of North Walsham Good Neighbours. North Walsham Good Neighbours is celebrating its 10th anniversary this September. Good Neighbours is run by a small committee of 8 who hold meetings every 6 weeks. The day-to-day running is done by our 7 duty coordinators who rotate in different weeks to answer calls from our neighbours and offer out the jobs to neighbours volunteers. From the 1st of April 24 to the 1st of April 25, we completed 796 jobs for neighbours, included 320 travel requests, 225 home and DIY jobs, 63 prescription collections and drop-offs, and 48 shopping requests, alongside other jobs like signposting, cat sitting, anything random. This does not include the many hours a week our volunteers spend on calls and visits to neighbours as part of our befriending scheme. We have 82 active volunteers and have signed up 11 new ones in the space of a year, with 1 currently awaiting training. We have many hundreds of neighbours on our records and are pleased to work with adult social care, both the surgeries and pharmacies, North Walsham Community Transport and local businesses in supporting our neighbours. We hold coffee mornings, bingo evenings, raffles, tombolas to raise funds and try to support as many as local events as possible. We have plans to take some neighbours to visit a local National Trust site and a beach visit, plus we have an annual garden party in June. Last December we held volunteer drinks and were joined by the chairman of Norfolk County Council, Stuart Dark, who thanked our volunteers for their hard work. We would like to thank North Walsham Town Council for their generous grant of £1,000 in November 2024, which covers 1/3 of our yearly expenses.
Okay. Hi, I'm Paul and I'm Secretary of the North Walsham Community Network, which is a different organisation, but some would say work style, sister organisation of North Walsham Good Neighbours. The network was established in 2023. if you make out the words. But we grew out of what was the North Walsham Think Carer Network. And that was set up, as the name implies, to provide support to unpaid carers. And we found that the scope of that broadened to include many other organisations and groups that were providing care and support to others in the community. And we operate within North Walsham and surrounding areas. Our aims, if you like, are that we connect people and groups in the town with the aim of improving the well-being of all. So it's a very, very broad, all-embracing aim. We embrace over 50 groups and organisations that provide opportunities or services in the town. Some of you here tonight are members of that network, but it includes Good Neighbours, includes the library, Parkinson's, St Nicholas Church, Alzheimer's, Scouts, community transport, a very wide range of different kinds of organisations. Our main aims are to improve access to information, and we've developed something called the Community Portal. I'll just hand these round if I may, which is a very easy way, hopefully, for people to access local information. If you've got a smartphone or you can use the QR code, you'll be able to get on there just to see it. Second is organising community events. So Big Bash is something that the network has organised in the past, 2024, and will be organising again, all being well, next year, 26. And thirdly, networking. People get together, talking, meeting, and organising consultations within the community. And some of that work that we've been doing recently is showing that what people have said they would really like is to have more opportunities to get together as members of groups, strengthening connections and mutual support between different groups within the town. That's a very strong wish coming from individual group members. And secondly, and this picks up a point Eric was mentioning earlier, help to attract and support volunteers. And not all, but many organisations are in a situation Eric described where volunteers are absolutely vital to the future and lifeblood of the organisation. And we know of certain members, quite significant members of the network, who are restricted in what they can do in terms of developing the opportunities for young people, for example, through lack of leadership, volunteers within their organisation. But also organisations that provide support, provide support to people who are disabled, who may not be able to continue in the town because there aren't enough people coming forward to help. Just some basic stuff like organising meetings and things like that for their members. So, based on that, based on the fact that people are saying we really need to do something about encouraging volunteers, we decided to hold a volunteer fair, which will be held on Saturday the 7th of June in the North Walsham Community Centre. And that is to promote volunteers locally in the town, having some form of hub that people can access easily to find out what's actually available in North Walsham. Particularly volunteering opportunities that are flexible and meet people's lifestyle abilities, their potential to offer support in different ways. Volunteering opportunities which are interesting, have developmental opportunities for the individuals concerned, and benefit all. So it's not just benefiting those who are receiving the energy and the time of the volunteers, but the benefits that come to all of us, as we know, as volunteers. And that's what this will be looking at on the 7th. And that's the portal, just to show you. It's got a little buttons on it that will give you an opportunity to find out and just to link with Good Neighbours. The one there, local activities and groups, if you do manage to get on and see in there, you'll be able to see lists of organisations in the town providing activities on a calendar basis, Monday through to Friday, weekly and monthly. And that's proved to be a very valuable resource to people coming into the town. Okay, thank you. Oh, I didn't know I did that. Yeah, worked. Perfect. Yes, it does. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Bob. Next, Jasmine will give us an update on the various events happening this year.
Hello, I am Jasmine. I'm been looking after the new events and tourism working group. We have, I've got a couple of things. One of the things is I'm going to talk about leafleting and promoting us as a tourism hotspot. We've redesigned our historic North Walsham leaflet. That's going to have more information about the facilities we've got in town, the parks, amenities and things. We've created a heritage walk around it, so you can take the map, follow the map around the town, see all the lovely historic bits. They are in production currently, so you will expect to see them probably everywhere very shortly. Along with that, we've made some A5 little postcards with all the events on. This year we've also added the regular annual events, which the town council don't host, so that would be like the Children's Day, Easter egg hunt, things like that. Yes, so we're trying to basically boost tourism, boost people coming in so they know what we are doing. Along with that, we've trying to schedule events. So this year, like Bob said, is going to be slightly different. We're not going to do the 4 street feasts because we had some feedback, although they were very successful, that people just wanted a little bit different. They just suited kind of one category of people. So this year we have got, the first one is a street feast, but we've added on a picnic in the churchyard. So we've got it's a Dino Jam puppet theatre show for children. That's going to be set up in the churchyard, and then we're encouraging people to bring a picnic, sit in the churchyard, kids enjoy the show. If you wish, you can come into the marketplace. There will be the standard food vendors, etc. We've got music on the bandstand. So we're just trying to broaden the appeal of that event. The next one is going to be a mini music festival. So this one will be in July. It's going to be in the marketplace. We're going to have main bands on the bandstand throughout the day. I'm going to be telling you who they are soon, but not just yet. But we're also encouraging buskers to come to the town as well. So I've got some busking spots around kind of the edges of town. My list is filling up. If anyone knows anyone, please let me know. Please let them know. So we're just encouraging music basically in the town for that. In August, we are doing a wellbeing festival, which I'm very excited about. It's been a very wellbeing heavy time. I think it's so relevant. So this we are organising to be on the Memorial Park. We're looking to have a mini festival right there. We're hoping to have some demonstrations of some wellbeing activities, things like yoga, Zumba, Pilates, etc. We're looking to have some stalls, some healthy food, and just basically encourage people who may not either know what is available locally or perhaps feel they can't afford things locally, because as we all know, cost of living and some of these wellbeing things do have quite the price tag. So we're looking to put it on for nothing for the general public to come along to, so there'll be no ticket price as it is for now. More details to follow. And then our final big event of this year would be our trackside event. So for that, we're looking to hold that at the skate park, at the trackside park. We're hoping to get some BMXers, some skate demonstrations, some graffiti artists, culminating in a kind of mini rave style.
Controlled video.
Yes. Yes. No alcohol involved. It's just the music and the good vibes. So yes, that would be coming in September. So that's the change to our regular events. So alongside that, we've still got our standard VE Day is coming. We just put some posters out for that. We are planning a similar thing for the VJ Day, but with a little bit extra. So as we get that arranged, we will let everybody know. We'll have the D-Day, we'll have the Remembrance Day. And then we'll see how it goes. So that's my update. Thank you very much.
Next, Judy on the Heritage and Information
If
Centre.
people can hear me, I'll stay here. It's easier moving everybody. I'm Judy. I volunteer at the Information and Heritage Centre in Vicarage Street. And part of my job is to disseminate all the events that Wendy and Jasmine organise. We provide information for local people, be it bus timetables, train timetables, things like that. And we also double up as a tourist office. So we do our meet and greet to visitors, tell them as much as we can of interesting places to go, we also provide a historical leaflet around the town where they can take a walk, and certain buildings have been marked with the North Walsham version of a blue plaque for a good many years, and we give them a leaflet that tells them what the buildings are and the history behind the buildings, and that proves very popular with the visitors. Obviously, we promote the church as well. Also, we house the Heritage Centre, which is a very small museum of the history of the town, and we encourage local groups to use us. We have a branch of the U3A coming in a couple of weeks' time. We've got the Cubs, is it, or the Scouts going in to see us. We had the Brownies not that long ago. So we partially an educational side for the youngsters of what the history, and it is a very long and interesting history of the town, and telling them that, okay, we may not be an absolute hub, but in the past we've had things like Duncan Cars, which was the forerunner of Austin Healey, which was a very famous sports car, and things like that. So that is part of our brief. Bear with me a second. We have several thousand items in the heritage collection. Sadly, many of them we can't display because they're important documents to the town, but they are fragile or they're paper-based. And if you've ever been into the Heritage Centre, you know wall spaces that are premium with us. We haven't got space. We try and rotate collections and things, and we're working towards theming more things. We've got the Titanic exhibition, which has been with us for some years now. We will be updating other things, and we're putting together a sort of history of the shops in the town, which hopefully will tie up with a very large banner that we've got, which we can't display, but it's actually a map of the marketplace and all the shops that have been around it over the years. Now we're totally run, well, not totally, the town council kindly sponsors us for doing our information bit, but mostly we're totally staffed by volunteers and mostly depend on donations. So obviously we're always holding our belly button out. We're desperately short of volunteers, so you know, Paul's community thing is going to get another come to us soon again, and we're going to come to the volunteer fair to see if we can rustle up things, because obviously we have limited opening hours of only four hours a day, and only on weekdays. More volunteers means we do more. Anyway, so that's the sort of potted history of information in the museum. Thank you.
Actually, Kelvin on the archive group.
Okay, I'm Kelvin Sadler. I'm the current chairperson of the North Walsham District Community Archive. I've been with the group for about 3.5 years, but it has been going since the 5th of June 2007, I've been told. And it was a joint project between the Norfolk County Council, Cultural Services Department of Adult Education, Libraries and Museums, working in conjunction with existing archives. So the County Council funded the setting up of groups in all Norfolk towns. There was a website for each town to attach its archive material, and they provided training, a laptop, a scanner, and support to contribute to and maintain the website. But by 2011, the County Council scheme had dwindled down to just 3 towns from about 30 that were involved, of which we were one of the remaining 3 towns. But the costs to contribute to the website were very expensive, and gradually we decided that we wouldn't be part of that either. So fortunately, around about that time, a young man called Wayne Beecham arrives, who many of you who know the town well know Wayne, and he's a driving force for us, and certainly from a point of view of putting things out there in the world of social media. And so he arrives with the group and he sets up our own website, which you can access today. It has a shop attached to it, so you can buy photographs from that website if you wish, of the past pictures of the town. Wayne also put in place a Facebook page for us. I'm sure many of you have been on that. It's very, very popular. There are new images go on every day from us. Other people put images on there as well. It creates a huge debate, and of course it creates a worldwide audience. You know, and I've actually interacted with people in Canada, you know, who were from North Walsham, visited the town or whatever. So it puts us right out there, not just at North Walsham, but in Norfolk, but across the world. It's fantastic. Also in 2015 came the arrival of the archive calendar, which I'm sure many of you have bought, and you can get that from the Heritage Centre. And again, Wayne was the driving force behind that, and this is its 10th year, and we raise funds for organisation through that, through the advertising. Perhaps the main thing that we do is our exhibition, which hopefully some of you have been to and will continue to come and look at. In 2014, the exhibition was reintroduced after a pause for a couple of years at the Atrium, and it's now become an annual event, which now takes place in the church rooms. The exhibition proves to be very popular every year. I mean, I've only been involved with it for 3 years, and we show photographs from the late 19th century, some fascinating photographs from the town marketplace. You know, recently we've been through the House project, and you can see the House project that took place, the equivalent of back in the late 1800s, early 1900s. Fantastic what you see of what was going on in how the town looked. I wonder what they'd make of it today. Very interesting. And it's also, you can see some fantastic photographs of the various coronations, the jubilees. The town is absolutely packed. You can't move in the town centre. It's packed with people, you know, so really good. And the photos people come to look at, and you can see how we lived, how we worked, how we socialised, how we educated. And I'm always fascinated by the conversations that get thrown up from people as they sit and have a cup of tea and a sausage roll, and they meet up, people they haven't seen for years. So it's a great social event as well. So it's a great way of bringing people together, talking about the town and the past. Now, we have over 40,000 photographs of the town and other physical archives. And some of it's on our website, but we can't put it all on the website because it's a massive task to do. It costs a lot of money to employ someone to do it. And also for the server to maintain that would be a huge cost. But we're trying to put more on as we go on. So linked to that is this issue of storage. We're very, very lucky that we have a very kind benefactor at the moment who allows us, along with the Heritage Centre items, to be stored, but how long that will last we don't know. So at some point we'll be looking for a new permanent home. I just want to use this opportunity, it's a bit cheeky, but because, you know, it is part of the town's past, the stuff that we do, and it keeps the town alive for younger people. I mean, I was born in the town, and spent most of my young life in Bacton, but it's fascinating what I've learned seeing these photographs, and trying to keep that alive, I think is really, really important. And we would hate for all those archives, although some of it's digitalised now, but the physical items will eventually just be chucked out in the skip. And so I just want to sow the seeds that we would love the town council to consider a way to help us with this at some point. Storage, I don't know how, but so that someone in 20 years' time, if we no longer exist, can say, oh, can we start an archive group? And the equivalent of Bob say, well, actually, down in this room here somewhere, we have got all the stuff. Why don't you have a look and get it going again? So that's how I feel about it as chairman at the moment. I just want to make sure it carries on going, because as I've heard also the other groups here, we have an ageing membership. You know, I'm 61 and I'm the young boy in the group, you know, and that's how it is, apart from Wayne, of course. So we welcome new members. We meet in St Bennett's Hall on the first Tuesday of every other month. The next meeting is the 3rd of June, and the exhibition is on the 7th and 8th of the month of August in the St Nicholas Room. So we'd love to see you there, and tell people about us, and hopefully we get some more support.
Thank you. Next is the Atrium film group. Sorry, I've written the name.
Joe Collier.
Thank you.
Well, I'm one of the volunteers at the Atrium, which was built for the community as a useful thing, because it's got seating on range seating, proper cinema seating for theatre, any show, for 180 plus people. So, and the first screening from our group was in December 2016, and the group itself was formed with a non-profit basis. We need to cover our costs, which are the hire of the hall and the auditorium and all their facilities, license to show a film, a license to sell alcohol in the evenings, the buying of drinks and cakes and things, because we give tea with the matinee things, advertising material. I would like to give these round if you will take one home with you. And of course we have to have the odd professional accountancy and things to make sure we're just doing a proper job. So we try to put on films that people would wish to see, but unfortunately with the coming of Netflix and all these internet things, we find that people have already seen a lot of them. So this is the next 3 months. So we do hope people will come and say, just come and enjoy yourself. We do tea and cake for the matinee. We have, as I said, bar and things for the evening. We put this on once a month for each of them, and a children's film. And we've got to keep going somehow. So thank you very much. 1, 2, 3. You've got them in your place. Yes, I know. Thank you. Will you take one of these on the right and the other on the side? Let me put his one.
Thank you.
Hello everyone, I'm Maureen Cadner and I'm the chair of the U3A. The U3A is for retired or about to retire people, or people no longer in full-time work. Next year it will have been going for 20 years in North Walsham, so it's a very, very well established part of the community, except in my view, when I became chair, I sort of felt that we don't go out into the community. You know, we are part of the community, we're not. Anyway, there's about, basically, it's a charitable organisation. We're self-sufficient. U3A in the UKA has something like 400,000 members. It's huge. Every small town can have a U3A. Anybody can start a U3A. And basically, the philosophy is that we'd like to welcome everybody, anybody who'd like to come. It's structured in such a way that we have monthly group meetings, and during those monthly group meetings we invite in speakers, but the rest of the time the members sort of set up groups for the members. So we have 30 groups that run. These groups include photography, walking, social history, life story work, that's mine, Sunday lunch, social things like Sunday lunch. We started go out to, we have a curry club somewhere along the line that's coming into being. So it's a real mixture of things. But the 30 groups are all just run by one of us. We set it up, we get a dozen people or whatever to come to it, and we just get on with it. So we actually have people who run groups in their homes, or we use the halls that you've just talked about. We can just keep expanding. I mean, that's the whole thing about the U3A, because we sort of pay a very simple fee of £15 a year, and from that, we sometimes pay extra if we've got to sort of hire a hall, we all chip in a couple of quid. But basically, from that, we run the U3A. We have, as of today, 222 people. And basically, we'd love to have more people, because there are more people with interest, more people who want to run groups, more people just generate more energy. One of the things that the U3A also does is got an umbrella organisation called the Third Age Trust, and they run loads and loads of webinars and things like that. So they actually do a whole host of things about, I don't know, I just did one on AI, you'll probably hate this, but AI and how to do your family research, how to use AI to do your family research. They do loads of stuff about penguins for some reason. But it's sort of like, it's just one of those things that looks small, but in fact the opportunities are massive. And I sort of like in my own head, because I was actually a social worker who started off in community social work 40 years ago, and then all changed to bureaucracy. But we sort of like, I just sort of think there is something about the fact that some people sort of think it's for the really old. But in fact, if you're in your 50s, you're about to retire, district council, county council, or whatever. Sorry. Anyway, I retired from that. But you know, we can actually go there and do talks, because we actually want people who go, actually I've always wanted to do something like research into, I don't know, I can't say the word ethnology or whatever, and people can set up a group. So it's like, it's whatever you want to do, just do it. So if you think about parents, grandparents, somebody down the road, just say, come and see us. The best way, we're on the website, of course, but the best thing is that first Friday of every month, we meet at Sacred Heart Hall between 2 and 4. We always have a speaker. We always invite people to come and try us twice. Just try us twice. Come to the monthly meeting, meet us, talk to us, see who the speaker is, have tea and coffee, look at one of the 30 groups and maybe decide to go and have a visit to one of them, and then decide to join. So it's all very relaxed, and people are just very, very welcome. So think about this, not yourself, sorry, because you're mostly young, but just think about people who, you know, people that you might know or something, and it's very active, and anybody is welcome. And next year is the 20th anniversary, so it'll be a party. Okay? Right, thanks. I'll hand over.
So last but not least is Sophie from the Air Cadet. Sophie is the Mayor's Cadet for the year, so she's shadowing me at various events.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Flight Sergeant Lev from the Air Cadets in North Walsham. I'm going to go a bit in the history of it and certain events we do within North Walsham and outside of North Walsham. So to begin with, the organisation in 1938 was established as the Air Defence Cadet Corps, also known as the ADCC, and was founded by Air Commodore Chamber, who then became known as the father of the Air Cadets. This was an organisation made up of people who wanted to make the British public aware of the importance of the military, aviation. The demand for places was extremely high, then creating squadrons all around different locations all around the world. Towards the end of 1940, the government realised the value of the cadet force and took control of ADCC. This was then reorganised and renamed as the Air Training Corps, which is now known as it is today. On the 5th of February 1941, the Air Training Corps was officially established with King George VI as the Air Commodore-in-Chief. Moving on a bit into the North Walsham Air Cadets. We strive enthusiastic and confident mentality, but also stepping out of our comfort zone. We present this in many events we partake in. For example, we do many adventurous trainings in locations such as Cumbria, like Lake District area, and do like mountain biking, which can be very scary and daunting at first. Here we practice our leadership skills and communications, trying to do tasks efficiently. We also attend many events within North Walsham. We do remembrance at the memorial every year, which also leads into the church. I don't know if you've seen us there or not. We are also helping out with the North Walsham Children's Day. We're hoping funding with that will enable us to start our archery and paddle sports. Sorry guys. We also are hoping it will also provide information about our squadron, and we hope to bring more people around. And if you have young ones who might want to join, it's a really fun community we are. Moving on to what I do for Mayor's Cadet. I try and assist you in many events that I can do. I can give feedback from the community, like my age. When after me, we'll do it properly. A selection of our cadets who will be picked from our squadron OC, and it will also be presented in front of the mayor at the time. He will do interviews. He'll select which he thinks is the best. We're hoping it will also involve army cadets as well, try and get them involved with it. They also represent our squadron with the events they attend, and we hope this gains more acknowledgement from the community, and we hope to get more involved with all the events.
We've heard from lots of groups there, but there are probably 10 times the number out there, so it's really great that there are so many people giving up their time to do things for the town. So thank you everyone again. So get to the question time now, if anyone has any questions to ask anybody, topics to raise. Or if not, we can move to coffee and biscuits. Thank you very much for everyone for coming. It's good to be able to celebrate what the town does. Thank you very much.